Hey, what's up everybody? This is Joshua Casper. I'm here with Plugin Boutique, and today I'm going to show you how to start programming, engineering, and sculpting your own unique drum sounds inside of Evolution by way of Alchemy. But before we do that, let's check out some of these presets. Okay, so that's just a few of the presets in the techno sub-library. If I open this up, you'll see that we have abstract and experimental, drum and bass, electronica, garage, hip-hop, house, pop, indie, techno, and trap. There are over 400 presets inside of here for those different genres. Now, not only that staggering number, but there are over 28,000 samples inside of this instrument. And that is going to come in handy when we start designing our own drums. So I've got this kick drum right here. And I'm on the mix page, and right off the bat, we have a number of different ways to start sculpting that kick drum. We've got your standard drum manipulation tools right here: panning, start, offset, select, attack, hold, decay, volume, and then we have our pitch. We also have a filtering system, and not only that, but we have effects. And the EFX here are for the individual samples down here. So if I want to switch to affect a different sample, I just got to click it. We can preview it that way. But any sample with the highlight above it is what the EFX are going to be manipulating. So I'm going to go back to kick. Now there's also master effects, the entire output of all the channels. And then there's also 2 delay lines and 2 reverbs. And those are set up by sends and returns. So we've got our delay, return, or send rather, and our reverb. And not only that, but like I said, we have 2 delays and 2 reverbs. And if I want to switch to the other one, I just got to click this, and now I'm on delay 2 and reverb 2. So these reverbs are convolution reverbs, and there's over 180 individual impulse responses that were made specifically for drums, so they all sound phenomenal. But that's not even the best part. Look up here at the top. We've got this drum selected right here. If I go to the kick or snare, you'll see that this is updating up here. I'm going to jump back into this kick. Now we've got 3 different layers, and each one of these sounds is comprised of 3 different layers, and they're mixed together in the XY pad, which we're going to jump into in 1 second. But this is incredible. This is where that 28,000 samples really comes in handy, because we can switch and create and manufacture our own unique drum sounds using that vast library of samples. So let's do that inside of the XY pad area. So what I have here is drum, transient, and layer, and you'll see that that corresponds to drum, transient, and layer right here. And while I'm hitting this, you'll see that it's actually mixing between those 3 samples. And that's the first way to start sculpting your own kick, for example. But what brings things even further, we can switch the sample by clicking right here. So I'm on drum right now. I can switch it to, let's switch it to A-bomb, just because that sounds epic. And I can switch through them here until I find the one I like. Now I can also change the bank. So right now I'm on kick, and that's pretty straightforward, but that doesn't mean we can't try out a tom as a kick. And then mix those with the other layers and get some really unique stuff there. So don't be afraid to experiment, essentially is what I'm trying to say. But here I'm on kick, and I've got some other presets right here. Cool. Now, I can also go to transient and change the transient. And I suggest while you're doing this, maybe leaving a little bit mixed with the other ones or going straight full 100% so you can really understand what it sounds like. So that's the 808 crush. So I like that one. Let's stick with that one. Let's go over to layer, come down to layer. And now mix between them. And then we could just play the track and see how it sounds. And just doing that without even listening to the track, and it already sounds phenomenal. I mean, that sounds great, right? But it doesn't stop there. We have 8 macro controls. So before we jump into those, let's just touch on, there's a volume control for the entire 3 layers combined. There's a pan for the entire 3 layers combined. There's also the send and return that we talked about in the mixer page right here as well. We can send it to the delay or that reverb. Phenomenal. So these are 8 macro knobs, and these are really dynamic. First of all, we've got the volume, right? But look what happened here. It's not changing the volume, and that's because we haven't applied the volume to the macro knob. So we have 3 layers, and if you'll see right here, we actually have 3 different sections in which we can apply each one of those layers to the volume knob in varying amounts. So let's say I want to add the layer at 100%, the transient almost to 100%, but not affect the drum at all with the volume knob, this macro control. Let's check this out. So if I come up here closer to drum, we'll get a better understanding of what's happening. You see how that is changing there? And you can see that that's changing, but the drum isn't changing at all. So this is really great, and each one of these effects or macro knobs has that same ability. So again, another way to really start cranking stuff out and getting versatility to these drums, or adding versatility to these drums. Crazy. Now, it doesn't stop there. We can go even deeper, and that is the fact that we can come in and choose from all of these different parameters to assign to these macro knobs. So I hope that gives you a good understanding of how in-depth you can go with evolution. If you like drums, if you like sound engineering, and you like both of those things, this is definitely the instrument for you. I haven't even touched on the sequencer page. I haven't even gone through nearly any of the 400 presets. In fact, let's just check out some of these drum and bass presets. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna bring my BPM on my Ableton Live up a little bit, and let's check these out. So there's the drum and bass. Let's check out some of these trap ones. Those are 138 to 142, so I'll just change my BPM. 138. Let's check these out. So quite the versatile amount. And like I said in the beginning, we have abstract and experimental, pop, indie, house, hip hop, garage. We didn't even touch on any of those. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Check it out. Links in the description of this video. Again, if you're a drum person or sound engineering person, evolution is definitely something you want to check out in further detail. Anyway, I'm Joshua Casper. I hope you learned something. We'll see you next time.